Welcome, everybody, back to another edition of Agents of Recovery. Scott Jones, Dwayne the Dog Chapman, Dog the Bounty Hunter, however you know him, the guy on TV.
Yeah, that crazy bounty hunter.
The crazy guy. Oh, and we're back with you. And again, what we're talking about is agentsofrecovery.com. If you have a problem with addiction, if somebody you love has a problem with addiction, we want you to go to agentsofrecovery.com. Information's right on your screen. We're going to help identify some good treatment programs for you, some good places for you to go. We're going to help you out, right, Doug? I mean, that's what this is all about.
Yes.
We're here to help people.
Well, we're going to lead you in the direction that we think you should go. Okay, because you're asking for help, so you know that song, Jesus Take the Wheel? Let us take the wheel. Let us do this. Let us take the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got you, bro. We got you.
And the thing is, people say, why would we do this? It's like, you and I both walked dark paths in our lives, and we had to find our way into the light. We had to find a way to make our lives better. And when you do that, there's something that draws you to helping other people do the same thing, isn't there?
Well, absolutely. And, we were not like what we work with, and you know that. We were virgins. So what we really, and you'll agree, I hope, we have seen what works. So not that, we've been there, done that, we understand that because we were there and we know. We have seen, this is Scott's business for many years, rehabilitation places. So he knows some of the stories he just told me about. So, there's wickedness in high places in every business.
Yeah.
And of course, in bail bonds, there's an old saying, they're crooked as a barrel of snakes. And, in any business, priests, Boy Scouts now, there's the top echelon, the Bible says, is full of a bunch of wickedness.
Politics? Can we throw politics in there?
Throw politics in there, too. The higher you get up the ladder, the Marines say, the more of your butt shows. So we're gonna put you in places or recommend you go to these places that are legal, they're honest, their morality is good, their final count is like above 80 and 90% that make it. There's always people that, Scott, let me tell you this story. This is good.
Yeah, please.
So Scott and I was doing this interview a couple years ago there was 20 people in the room that just came from, they're all high one day. They put them in detox, which is, to me, I don't even know, like a room where they feed them and get them off the dope.
Yeah, it's like the hospital part of your stay to get you physically stable.
Ready.
Right.
So right as they come out of the physically ready, no drugs, they're watching them, they can't sneak it. 5-6 days out of that, what do you call it? The detox.
Yeah.
They are in a room. And so there's like 20 of them sitting around, and Scott's like, go. I want to hear what you ask him. So I went around the room, and I tried to use my discernment, and I'm like, hi, you did heroin, right? How do you know? Oh, wow. And so I went around the room, and this one girl, remember her? She's like, I'm like, honey, what's your favorite drug? All of them. Oh, really? And then which one is the worst one? And she's like, heroin. I go, heroin? Yeah. And so when you get in the rehabs, I don't care where they are, you start liking the guy next to you, and you use the word that I love to use is, hey, bro, I love you. So you start loving the people, your compadres, the people that are going through this. So I went around the room and I skipped her. Instantly, I knew what was going on. I skipped her, and I went around again, and I go, now, I skipped you, right? And she goes, yeah. I go, how many times you been here? 3. And I thought, oh, damn, woman, 3 times and it ain't worked? And I went, listen, honey, you've never done any kind of dope, have you? She started crying. She goes, no. And I said, you don't do heroin, have you? No. I go, you just like it here. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I said, does
I do
anybody,
remember that.
has your mom or dad
Yeah.
ever told you they loved you? I was raised I'm an orphan by step parents. No, they didn't. Well, in the rehab, everybody's, getting off of dope and they're like finally coming back to reality and they're like, they really mean, morning, bro, I love you. They mean it. They
Yeah.
love you. And she was like hooked on the I love yous because nowhere else in the world, remember that? You gave her
Yeah.
a puppy or something. And nowhere else in the world did she get told that she was loved and was paid attention to. And of course, Scott took her from there. She never came back, did she?
No.
And you stayed in touch with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, every time he gets on the phone, he goes, "Hi, love you. How are you? I love you too." So the places we're going to recommend you go is for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying if you have never been told I love you, come see me and Scott. I don't mean that, but I'm just making a point that anybody can be healed. And she picked a drug rehab, the one Scott was affiliated with, and the people passed away. They picked that rehab that you were affiliated with to get love.
Absolutely. And, that's what a lot of people are looking for, Doug. They're looking for acceptance.
Right.
They're looking for love. They're looking for somebody not just to look down on them because of what they've been through or what they're doing, but somebody to say, we're here to lift you up. We're here to give you a path to become the person you know you should be.
Right.
You've talked about it many times that you knew in your head when you were young, you were supposed to be something. You were
Right.
supposed to be something.
I was
you
famous in my own mind.
You were a legend in your own mind
Yes.
before your time. But
Yes.
you also took a path that took you away from that, and you had to get back on that path.
Yes.
I call that living your authentic truth, living your authentic self, being true to what you really are. It's not that Doug became Doug. It's that you always were. You just forgot for a little while when you were getting in trouble.
Well, and I was one of those that needed to be said, I love you. I say it to everyone, okay? I loved Hawaii, and I love Hawaii because aloha means 3 or 4 things, but the main thing it means is I love you. So when I'm talking to the Uber guy, I like to say that, what's up, brother? I love you. Because I'm a human being and I love that. I had a Doberman Pinscher once. This is when I learned this. And he would pee on the wall, and I would go, a Bendigo was his name. I love a Bendigo. He's in heaven waiting on Daddy. And so I would spank a Bendigo every time he peed on the wall on this certain spot. And after I spanked him with my hand in his butt,
Yeah.
I felt so bad that I'd hug him and love on him and say, I'm sorry, don't make Daddy spank you, Bendigo, right? And so I'd be sitting there, and a Bendigo would walk up, look at me, and pee on the wall, staring at me. And so I went to my vet and said, listen, this dog what's wrong with him? He's, light in the mind. There's something wrong. So he said, tell me. He's kind of like that Cesar Millan guy, right?
Yeah, the dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, what am I doing? What's the deal? He goes, dog, when he pees, you spank him and love him. He's going to pee and take that spanking just to get the I love you. Yeah. And I went, bells and whistles went off in my mind, and I went, sounds like myself.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Now that is a true to God story.
And you know what? And that's true to not just the dog, obviously, but to people. We will go through hell so that we can find someone to love us.
Yes.
And what if we were to, like Dog does, is give that love freely? How many people can we help? How much change can we make by simply loving people? Stop condemning everybody.
Yes. I had a guy friend now. I took to jail one day, and years ago, and he sneezed in the back of the car, and he goes, God bless me. And we're driving in jail. Achoo, he sneezed again. He goes, God bless me. And I turn around and go, hey, would you shut up? Would you give me a second and I can say God bless you? You know what he said to me? You'd say that?
Right.
I go, bro, listen, when someone sneezes, I'm the first one in the room. Well, if you're there, I'm the second. In the room, that when someone, sometimes I sit there and wait. How am I going to break the ice? How am I going to let people know I'm a good guy? It's you. God bless you. No, really, right?
Yeah,
and that is all it takes. And so I told this guy, if you'll shut up when you sneeze, now you can imagine,
Right.
on the way to jail, he sneezed like 5 other times. They were all fake.
It's you.
God bless you. And I'm like, I left him sneezing.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a true story.
I love that.
And now that guy is my friend to this day, and I tease him about that. And of course, he don't call up and achoo right away, but I said, and he was telling me he was raised by parents that never said that, right? But he felt that. So a lot of drug addiction or a lot of, let me back up. A lot of recovery has to do with I love you.
Absolutely.
Isn't that true?
Absolutely. It's so true. There used to be this idea that to help somebody, you've got to break them down first. Well, quite honestly, that's bullshit because the addiction has already broken them down. Their own thought has already broken them down. They don't need to be broken down anymore by you. They need to be lifted. They need to be lifted with kindness, with love, with understanding and empathy. I've seen you in the back of those cars, Doug, and you're picking people up for some crimes that weren't that big a deal, and some of them that were pretty bad.
Right.
But you still showed everybody respect and kindness. Why?
Well, my grandfather used to say, after you break them down,
Yeah.
be sure you put them back together and make sure they're better off than they were when you started breaking them down. Now, my breaking them down was like you say, putting them in the car.
Right.
That's enough. I hate them until I catch them.
Right.
And then all of the sudden, that is lifted, and I'm like, I've told many, what a chase, brah. We need to pay you and let you run again. This was the greatest chase I've ever had in my life. So, I forgot what we were saying.
Talking about how you can treat them with so much respect and love. Even
you don't
though
have to call them mother effers and your mama's this and a hoe and da-da-da-da-da, and then say, a lot of mothers are like that. That doesn't work, at least anymore. Since the internet came out, you can lie like hell until the internet and Google, and that don't work, is to break them down and break them down. Now, there's guys that need to be broken down.
Right.
And left rusty. Yeah, and there are guys like that, and I've met some.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, Gary Boy and I, Gary's last arrest with me was a military, high decorated guy, sniper. And it was Veterans Day. And it was while Beth was still here, and it was one of the last arrests Beth did, right, with me and
I know which one you're talking
I
about.
had
Yeah.
to boot the door in
Yeah.
on Veterans Day and catch the guy. And he's like, I did everything. I'm sorry, I know you're a vet. Yeah. I go, what is all these needles doing around? He goes, that's for heroin. I go, you're a vet. Yeah. All the way to he told my son, let me tell you right now, if your dad wouldn't have had a gun to my head, I'd beat your young ass. And I heard him say it, and I go, let me tell you something, buddy, that ain't no gun.
Right.
That's a blank gun. But you knew I'd have shot it. I tried everything I could to break the guy. Couldn't break him.
But you went in with the idea that if I can treat him with kindness and compassion, that's always your first choice.
Oh, yeah.
Until it doesn't work.
Until it doesn't work, and then I do it to the end of the jail gate.
Right.
And even I know myself, and I know that I told Gary, book him, right? So my boy went over, booked him, and I said, what did you tell him when you walked away? Gary said, I told him aloha, Dad. And Gary is Little Beth, so aloha means, I love you, and that's why I love Hawaii, because you can say aloha, and that means I love you.
Right.
They don't know I love you, right? So aloha, Gary said, I told him aloha, Dad. Did he say anything back? Nope. He couldn't, that guy, there's not too many of those kind of guys that can't be fixed.
Right.
Can't be put back together. I had I don't mean to talk so much today.
No, it's fine.
My grandfather was one of my heroes. As you can tell, I talk about him all the time. And we learned the poem Humpty Dumpty, right?
All right, yeah.
So, you know how it goes. So I came home, Grandpa said, so what'd you learn today? And your grandparents, what'd you learn in school today? I go, we learned this thing called Humpty Dumpty. Can you say it? And I was like, yeah. And I didn't know this for many years. And so he said, say it. So I go, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men got together and put him back together again. And my grandpa's like, cool, that's really nice. 3 or 4 years later, Grandpa said, do you know Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put that egg together again. And I went, does it really say that?
But you had heard that they were able to help
I
him.
heard in my mind. And all the king's horses and all the king's men put that egg together again. My whole, until Grandpa told me, you know what I told him? I'm going to keep saying
I like mine better. Yeah.
My grandpa said, I like yours better too. Yeah. So there are guys like you and I that are really like that, okay? Now there's two sides of us, not evil, but or revengeful, but you know,
when you have to kick ass, you have to kick ass. It happens.
And it's getting less and less of that, is what I'm trying to say.
But when you started this, there had to be some crazy looks, because here you are, you're tracking these guys who are running. They're running. Now we're talking about your bounty hunter stuff,
Right?
And they're running, and they don't want to get caught and everything, and all of a sudden they're caught by dog. And when you're dropping them off at the jail, they're not getting out of the car cussing you. They're giving you a hug. You're giving them a cigarette. They're having a cigarette with you outside before they go in the building. And they're saying, I love you, dog. And they're saying things like, you had to be turning heads for a while there, because I don't remember anybody else doing that kind of work before you.
No, I did. The first show I ever did, we caught the guy. And this, I give this to my producer, David Houts, in New York. Hybrid Films. So we caught the guy. We're on the way to the jail. Great bust, great investigation, great catch. We got him on the way to the jail, and I go, Charles, what's the matter? I cut my foot, dog. Where'd you cut your foot at? Running. I go, okay. So I looked around. I go, camera's off, right? To my camera guys in the car. First show I ever did. And of course, Andrew Dunn said, and Jason Hedrick, they go, yeah, cameras are off. Beth, on the radio, you need to stop by. Charles, you hungry? Dog, I'm starving. You want a couple McDonald's? Oh, yeah. Beth, get 2 quarter pounders. All the works? Yes. All the works. 1 large fry, 1 Coke with a lot of ice. And will you send baby Lisa over to, the little store there and grab a small, we didn't carry him in the car the first show. One of those little things that got Band-Aids and
First
all that.
aid kit.
First aid kit. Yeah, okay, mission, boom, boom. Beth brings back the cheeseburgers. He's like eating, not eating in days. I don't even know if he's chewing it, man. Charles is like, oh, God, dog, these fries. I cuff him in the front.
Yeah.
Right? So then we take his shoe off, spray it with that stuff. We fix him, put a Band-Aid on it, put the shoe back on. Now, there's a scripture in the Bible that all Christians and even not uses. And it says, when you are blessed, be very careful. Don't throw your pearls, God's gifts he's given you, for the swine. That means if you sit down to preach to a drunk, amen, brother Ben, shot a rooster, kill a hen. The guy don't even understand what you just said. So You're preaching, throwing your pearls to the swine. He's not a pig, but, biblically, that's what it means. So
gotcha.
I'm hearing my friends go, if I show that I'm being nice, because they wanted dog kill, right?
Yeah.
Sick doggy. So they wanted that. So I thought, oh my God, they're going to think I'm throwing my pearls to the swine if I ever let them see this, right? So we get done. Cameras are off. No one sees nothing. I go to the premiere of Dog the Bounty Hunter in New York. Hi, mucka mucka. Walk into this huge theater, right? And they start showing Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? The first show ever on television. We're hijacking it from the TV station, watching it.
Right.
The production company is. A&E did it. And so it's halftime, right? And so I think, wow, they're going to show the next guy. Because I never, back then, I couldn't see the show before it aired.
Right,
And
right.
didn't even care about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm on TV. Who gives a damn, right? So all of a sudden, I start watching, and I take my rearview mirror and I go, what's wrong, Charles? Dog, I got a cut in my foot. Beth, you hungry, Charles? Oh my.
So they filmed all of that.
I'm stunned. I look at Beth and she goes, "Oh. Well, there goes your career, Big Daddy. Mm-hmm. You were famous for about 10 minutes. I'm like, oh no. Now, have you ever seen Enter the Dragon with Bruce
Yeah,
Lee?
Bruce, love Bruce Lee.
So you know how at the end of his movie, sitting in the theater,
Yeah.
and he looks at his old lady and he's like, oh, shit. And all of a sudden they go, and
Yeah.
it goes around the room and he stands up and they all go, yay, right? So now this is, it was filmed, so whoever don't believe it, look at this footage. So the end of the show comes, I'm devastated. Oh my God, they showed me being nice to this guy, give him cheeseburgers, blah, blah, blah. I look around and I hadn't know if I've seen Bruce Lee yet, the movie, I don't know. And I stand up and they start, roar, 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 dog, dog, dog. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? They liked it? I thought, no. And guess that's how really it started. I did it to every single person I arrested. Well, there's a few for certain charges that I didn't.
Right, sure.
But that was not a planned thing. Then I'm doing a book signing once, and I'm confused about what part of the show they like. And there's 7,500 people showed up in Texas. So the front of the line, of course, is the Marines and the right?
Yeah.
How many of you guys? So I'm doing my own investigation. How many of you guys like the takedown? About 10 Marines go, yeah. So what do you guys like the most? The backseat ride. Oh, I go. That makes me cry today. Oh my God, did they just say that? I have had guys say, I knew this was going to happen. Because I like to get spiritual with them.
Right, yeah.
Did you feel me coming? 80% go, yep. Really? Did you know it was today? Nope. What'd you think? I knew. And they look around that someday, when I heard you was looking for me, I'd be sitting right here. And they go, I'm ready, dog. What are you ready for? I'm ready for my backseat ride. I have had guys, I said, you can either take the cops or I can take you to jail. What would you like? I have never had a guy say, and I've said, the cops will let you smoke. I'll make sure.
Yeah.
Because I had a guy say, yeah, well, I'll go with you because the cops won't let me smoke. And 90% have said, I'll go with you because, dog, I'm waiting for this backseat ride. I go, how do you know? Most say I've had a dream, or some say I've had like an inclination, or to me that means a vision.
Yeah.
And they knew that one day they were going to get. Is it ours?
That's my phone.
Oh, is it?
Just ignore it. So they knew one day they were going to
Get the back seat right. And
Wow.
and a lot of them, I don't know the percent. It's high. After they got it, it wasn't because of me and dog and the words of knowledge or wisdom that I gave them. It was because they got loved, or they realized, wow, he is that way. Or they called me and got out of jail. Hi, this is so-and-so. I've been in jail a year. I'm like, uh-oh, right? Here he comes.
Right.
Dog, I just want to tell you, man, you're right about what you said. I love you very much. You helped me change my life. You know what that makes me feel like? I'm like, wow. That is one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in my life, for someone to say, dog, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't do that. Or here's mostly what I'd like to say they say, you put me on the right path. Now, a lot of them do say you changed my life, and I'm thinking they don't really mean me, but they mean the path that I directed you to changed your life. Now, I'm still doing bounty hunting, and I'm still directing them. But now I'm going with you international. Is that right to say?
Yes, of
I'm
course.
going now to a step farther, and we're going to help pick a rehab that is not crooked, that is not only in it for the money, that is there when you graduate from the rehabs we're going to send you to. They're proud you made it, and you're proud to have been there.
Absolutely.
Right,
Absolutely.
and you got the experience. Scott's got the experience for many, many, many years. Was a radio disc jockey, as you can tell. Hello, Scott. But, for many, many years, has been doing the rehab, so has dissected each one. Some of the good stories you tell me, some we can't never say on the air,
Right.
and some of the bad stories. So you've been through that kind of business. It's like a contractor. You pick a contractor, 80% of them don't do what you ask them to do.
That's true.
But
That's
when you
true.
find a realtor that goes, listen, my contractor's the best, let me use them. That's what you're like. You know them all in this area. You know where to go, and I'm taking advantage of that.
We took a lot of time, and no matter where you are in the country, out of the country, no matter where you are, if you need help, you go to agentsofrecovery.com and you fill out the questions, and let us get back to you. Before we get back to you, we're going to take a look at the answers to those questions, and we're going to be able to determine what is the best way we can help you, because we're not here to waste your time.
Right.
We're not here to waste your
ours.
time. We're not here to just look good by trying to help people. We're really helping people. We want to make sure this works. Dog, you've proven that that the chase and the takedown, that's all wonderful, but the change happens in that back seat, and we're taking that to the next level. Myself, Dog, Karen, Francie, all the people that are involved.
Right.
We are dedicated to this. We want to make sure this works. So agentsofrecovery.com, you go there. I'll tell you what, let's take it even a notch further. Maybe you're already in recovery. Maybe your goal is to help people. Guess what? If you go to agentsofrecovery.com and you could click on a link and you could become a certified event interventionist, and you can actually go out and help other people. Be like Dog and I and go out there, be a certified interventionist, which we both are,
Right.
and learn how to talk to people, learn how to help people. And we're there to back you every step of the way. We mentioned in a show before this that if you want to become the Agents of Recovery, be a part of the Agents of Recovery Army, which is an army of people who are just doing the right thing, being clean and sober, taking care of each other, helping people, being good, be a part of that army. We're going to have private Zoom meetings. You guys can join in.
Right. We're having fun. This
I would
is
love to go
great.
around and meet everybody, but it's not
Right.
possible, right, Doug? I mean,
Right.
but we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best to make sure that you have contact with us and that we can answer your questions. So, but you got to put the effort in. I don't know how many times I can say this. When you sit in the back seat with somebody, you're telling them you could change your life. The key word there is you can change
You
your
can
life.
change your
you can't
life.
change it for them.
No, and I'd like to, because the more, just like this, the more you and I advertise these rehabs and hook people up, and they make it, they're going to say, "Where did you go?" "Oh, we went to so and so. How did you get there?"
Yeah.
Dog and Scott sent me there. That's it. The more we go good, the more successful we become. We become successful if you join first half, if you graduate successfully a quarter, and if you make it a year. You make it a year, you're done. Your habit, you're done. You may backslide someday if you get drunk, but you're back on that horse again.
That's right.
There's no way going through this in a year, where we're going to pick for you, when you make it, that you're going to ever backslide. And what you say, if you're in another rehab and you're happening to watch us, stay there. Don't come to us.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
don't want to hustle these other
No.
rehab guys. Go through that. Stay clean. You could still call us. We won't do Zoom with you though. No, we will. But I mean, we're not going to hustle them. Do your own thing. But we both of us have made a living by the best advertising there ever is, word of mouth.
Right.
Have you seen this rehab? Have you seen,
Yeah.
oh, this rehab works. Have you watched that guy on TV with the long hair called Dog the Bounty Hunter? It's something Dog something. Have you seen that? And our reputation precedes us.
Yeah, well, while you were on TV chasing down crooks and doing all that, that Batman shit.
Right.
I was up in Jersey doing infomercials on car lots, but we've both
Right.
been out there.
Right.
The truth is that if you catch Dog and I off camera, you'll realize we're not just about getting together to try to build this. We're friends. We're close.
Right.
We're outside. We're talking about everything from women to motorcycles to more women. But
Francis,
I'm kidding.
sorry.
Just about Francie. That's it.
Yeah. And you're one.
And Therese. But the truth is that we just find this common bond that we believe if we can help other people, that we're fulfilling our purpose. Am I wrong in that?
No, and we want to get to heaven. We want to be. We know
course.
there's an afterworld, and we believe the only way we get there is we'll be judged by their. The Bible says, "By their fruits you shall know them." We call it by their record.
Right.
You'll know what kind of person they are. And so far, we got a good record. You and I both.
We really do, yes.
So, and the more I want to always be, I don't know why that's in my blood, the best there's ever been at whatever I'm doing. Nowadays, I love, wait, let me tell you this one, to come in second. I don't like first place as much as I used to because everybody's trying to knock you down. But second place,
Second, you can sit. You can be comfortable
I
in
am-
second place.
first place worst nightmare he ever had. And I love jacking with them. If they're in first place, I love nubbing them and go. Second, yay, is better than first.
This is why your name is Doug, because if you don't have something to chase, you're not happy.
Oh,
so if you're in second, you can always chase that first,
yeah,
right?
chase that first place. It's funner than being number one.
But we want to help everybody. We know it's not possible. We know that God knows this year of 2020 with COVID, and we've seen so many people lost. And believe me, our hearts go out to you if you've lost a family member or somebody to COVID, and if you've lost a family member to addiction. We really, really feel for you. We've both been there with our friends and our families, and it's of service. It's our service to honor the people that we've lost by moving forward and trying to help another human being. Doug, if we do this for year after year and we only help one person, it's still worth doing. But I could see us helping a whole lot more than that. But we need you guys. We need you guys.
He's that kind of guy. He really means that, what he just said. He told me that last night. If we only help one, that's okay. I'm like, if I'm only helping one, I need to go sell cars. I need to be a pimp or something. No, I'm telling you. Sorry for saying that.
No,
But, I don't. I want to. And hey, guess what? I want to heal them all. I want them all. I want them all. They're going to be failures. I don't want to see them. That one thing I loved intervention. Why in the hell did they show me that Philip didn't make it, and John? And I changed. I said, you know what I do? I call my friends. Did this guy make it? Yeah, we'll watch it. Did this guy make it? No, he. I ain't watching it.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
I wanted to slap A&E when they showed the guy. And Philip went to rehab, and then he got out, and he made it 3 months. Now he's back in jail. Why did you even show me that? It's like watching that show Green Tomatoes or something Francie watches, where that girl dies in the show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, Francie, what are you doing to me? And she's like bawling. And I'm like, I don't want to see fried green tomatoes again. And the other night, I promise this is a true story, we watched it. And Francie fast forwarded it to the part where the girl dies. And I was like, wow. And we've only been together 10 months. And I'm like, she's already starting to know me. And she turned around and I go, thank you. She goes, oh, honey, you're welcome. And so I don't, I know you really love that much to save one. I'll rob them all.
That's it.
I want all. I do. I don't know if that's wrong to say. But
No, it's not wrong to say that, Doug, because you want to help everyone. You do. And I do too. But what I want people to watch Agents of Recovery. We're going to be going throughout the country. We're going to be going everywhere. Don't be surprised to see Doug and I show up in your city and doing some events.
Yes.
We're going to be here. This is a calling for us. This is a passion for us. And we want you to join us. When you go through agentsofrecovery.com and you get help for yourself or your loved one, you don't just get help for them. You become a part of a mission to help the next person and the next person and the next person.
Right.
If Dog and I have to just reach a few of you, and then those few of you reach a few more, and then they reach a few more, next thing you know, we've got ourselves a real movement. We
Right.
got boots on the ground and something happening here. And I will feel that we've done our job.
Right. I don't like to be the first at anything. I don't know. Nobody's tried it. Let me be. I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't like that. I want to bet on a winning horse. If I did gamble horse races, you know what I told him? I don't want your long shot. Which one's going to win? No, I want. That's why I'm here with you, because you're a winner and you pick successful rehab. You've got them. I've interviewed the guys.
Yeah.
They're real. I don't want to take a gamble. I don't. I'm not that kind of guy. I'll gamble. I love it. But I want, what's this? I want insight. Come here, brother.
And we don't want to gamble
What's
with
the
their
inside,
lives.
right?
Yeah.
What's the inside info?
Yeah.
Which one is going to make it at the horse races, right? The guys that are the waiters that walk around, you know what they used to do, right? They're all ex-jockeys. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Where do I get my info? The ex-jockey. How many times have I won? Every. Because they go, oh, 21's going to just take it. He always does. Okay, I'll bet $100, right? No, I've only been twice in my life. I love that sound of that horn. But that's my personality, is to bet on a winning horse. And, brother, you're a winning horse.
Doug, I feel
Love
the
you.
same. I love you too. Before we sign off, again, agentsofrecovery.com. Get help for you. Get help for someone you love. And if you want to help even more people, you could register right there. We have a partnership with Addiction Training Center. You could become a certified event interventionist. It's all right there. But before we go,
Okay.
I just want to throw this out here. Dog ain't done. You've gone through, you had Dog the Bounty Hunter, and then you had Dogs Most Wanted.
Right.
What's next? What are we looking for next? I mean, maybe you can't give us details, but what are we watching
Well,
for?
we can give details. We had Dog the Bounty Hunter. Then we had
Dogs Most Wanted.
Dog and Beth on the Hunt.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about
And that was CMT. Then we had Dogs Most Wanted, WGN. Now we're streaming very soon live, called Dog Unleashed. And what that means.
Just the idea of you being unleashed is exciting.
and everybody's, does that mean because Beth is gone that you're unleashed now?
Oh.
A little bit. But it means when we film a TV show and we get one show, one guy, it usually takes 3 days to catch a guy. So let's be fair and say 4 days. So during those 4 days of filming to catch the one guy to make the one show, we have 10 hours of footage, 3 cameramen usually, constantly rolling, put it all together. You got 40 hours of footage for one show, 4 days. You know how many minutes I get to use on that in the network? 41 minutes. On hour 60, no, it ain't. You got commercials, 18 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Or 9 of them. You got, it all depends if you're, what are you watching, Criminal Minds or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of commercials. The higher up in ratings, the more commercials. So, you got 41 minutes out of 40 hours. That, Dog Unleashed. You're going to get a lot more hours out of 40 than 41 minutes. One time I dove through, and I don't like fire this hair. I squirted my hair down with water. The guy was inside. I had to jump through the fire. I jumped inside. Smoke was all around. I got my hand over his face. He's in the corner. He can't hardly move. Get up right now. Help me. No, no, you're not. I threw him out the window and stuff. You know what they showed? Him coming out the window.
They didn't show you going through the fire.
I said, why
That's
didn't you
gold.
show that? You know what he said?
What?
Oh, no, dog. We had so many other scenes. And I'm like, man, that was so cool. I even thought I was a hero my own self.
So now with streaming, you could show all of
we
it.
can show it now. And, you know, there are some big-time rappers, I'm not supposed to use their name, that have taught me, that are teaching me. This is the way of the future, dog. So we're coming streaming, Dog Unleashed.
Dog Unleashed. Look for it in 2021. Again, streaming services. So really, all bets are off. All rules are off. This is really Dog Unleashed. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to see some of Francie in there. And, of course, you know,
kids
other
are all
family
with
members.
us,
Kids
yeah.
are all going to be in there. And we can be excited about that. And, of course, you know, Agents of Recovery is always in the background there. So if you need help, you know where to come. agentsofrecovery.com. Dog, absolute pleasure, my friend.
Love you again, brother. That's 2 times I told you that.
Love you too, pal. We'll talk soon, but we look forward to hearing from all of you out there. For Dog the Bounty Hunter, I'm Scott Jones. We'll catch you next time.
Aloha.